You've done it, I've done it, we've all done it. Tired, frustrated, unsure in today's job market, unsatisfied at work, underpaid, overworked, and we've all, in a moment of frustration, started to just apply. And it's called rage applying, and it's a real thing. So let's find out what it is, who's doing it, and does it actually help us find the kind of job that is not as frustrating and better paying, the kind of job you're looking for. So tap the like button and let's get started. Hi, I'm James Callahan, and this is The Do-Over Show. And long before it went viral, rage applying has been all the rage if you've ever had to do a do-over. Upset with a dead-end job, frustrated by a boss, uncomfortable with coworkers, filled with regret of where you wound up and what you're doing now. And then we get a 2% annual increase when inflation is 6 to 8%, and we're actually making less money this year with our 2% raise than we made last year. And we take out our frustration by applying to 10, 20, 50 jobs in one sitting. And on LinkedIn with Easy Apply or Indeed's Apply Now with our resume uploaded, and they'll even fill in the details of an employer's application for us. We just hit submit. Yes, it's easier than ever to rage apply. Funny story, I was rage applying toward the end of a job, frustrated job, going nowhere. And so I just started to submit 10, 20, 50 applications online. And I got a phone call from one of the employers. And I missed at the beginning the name of the employer, and they never mentioned the position that I had applied for that we were doing a phone interview for. It took about 10 minutes for me to figure out who they were. I got the job. And in today's tough labor market, with almost 2 job openings for every single person looking for a job, it seems like finally, maybe for the first time in your life, it's your market. It's a simple matter of supply and demand in the market. There's a lower supply and there's a higher demand, and maybe you can benefit from it. So you've got leverage, maybe, depending on where you live and what field you're working in, what's your career path. And did you know that today, the average higher level corporate job gets over 250 applications? Yes, even in a tight labor market, there's still 250 plus people just like you applying for that job that you think is just going to change your life. So should you do it? Should your rage apply? Will that actually help you find a job? Well, some of us go to the opposite extreme. Instead of submitting dozens of applications for open jobs, we decide we're going to pre-select. We're going to look and say, that job is perfect for me, or I won't apply for that one. And we narrow our choices and we limit the number, thinking that we are making the choice, when actually we're pre-selecting ourselves out of job opportunities. There are large swaths of the workforce that will not apply for a job if they're missing 1 or 2 components of the requirements or of the desired skill set that the job is asking for. Over and over today, people pull themselves out of the job market thinking, I'm not good enough. So maybe it's imposter syndrome. But then there are those college kids that get out of school with no experience and start applying for CEO jobs. Yeah, we tend to overcompensate to one extreme or the other. Either we only apply for 1 or 2 jobs thinking that's just going to make sure that I get the perfect job, or we over apply for jobs and end up missing out on opportunities. So instead of thinking that being overly selective will be more successful, here's the reality. Here's what recruiters are telling us. That's not the way the job market works today. We need a certain number of jobs. We need critical mass of job applications to help us find interviews and get the offers that we're looking for. And by the way, employers don't know if you've applied for 5 or 5,000 job openings. You do, you're tired, but they don't know. And one career consulting group has done the research for us. So here's what they tell us. The more openings we apply for, the more likely we are to get an interview and land a new job. The optimal number falls between 21 and 80 job applications. Yep, it's in that range that we are guaranteed pretty much to get an interview for a job. 61.7% of job seekers get at least 1 interview from their first 10 applications. And if you have multiple interviews, more than 50% with multiple interviews get a job offer. And it's important to remember that the more important or the higher paying this job role is within that company, the more rounds of interviews we're going to have. Smaller companies tend to do it a little more quickly with 2 or 3 interviews, and some larger companies, especially at higher pay, sometimes you'll have a half a dozen to a dozen different team meetings and job interviews. So here's how the numbers look according to the consulting group. If you apply for between 21 and 80 jobs, you have a 30.89% chance of receiving a job offer. And that's according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. It seems to be the sweet spot. So instead of thinking that 1,000 applications will automatically raise our odds of getting an interview or landing a job, the number actually drops once we go above 80 applications. Job seekers who apply for between 11 and 20 jobs have a 29.48% chance of receiving a job offer. And those who apply for more than 81 jobs have a 20.36% chance of receiving a job offer. Not an interview, a job offer. And according to a recent Forbes study, when you look at all the jobs that are available in today's market, the average number of applicants for each of those jobs is 118. Not 117, not 119, 118. And of that 118, about 22% get an interview. So about 24 people out of the 118 will actually be called for a first round of interview, usually a quick phone interview. And of the 24 that get that initial interview, 37% who get that interview actually get a job offer. Now remember, it doesn't mean that every time a job offer is made, someone takes it. In fact, there are a lot of reasons why, especially with rage applying happening all over the place today, it's a lot of reasons why people say, no, thank you for the offer, but I'm not interested. The top reasons that people rejected a job offer were that it was a low-wage job, or it was personal reasons, like I was rage applying and I'm over it now, or it had inconvenient hours, or the commute was too long. So instead of rage applying, which drives HR departments crazy, recruiters say that there are 3 elements of a successful job search in today's climate with rage applying raging. The first thing is applying for a new job is a job itself. So persistence and consistency, applying yourself on a regular schedule, has more benefits to you and more care associated with the submission of an application, which tends to be reflected in the quality of responses you get. So that people who will rage apply get fewer responses to their rage applications. But people who do the consistent, persistent approach, couple a day, every day, until they find a job offer that they want, that actually yields a better return on your time and effort invested. The second thing is that networking is still one of the most important factors in finding a new job, and you can't rage network. So give up on the idea that frustration will somehow be eased. The thing is, rage applying is cathartic. It's meant to address our issue of frustration or anger, but it gives us a false positive. That is, we think that because we've submitted a large number of applications in this rash fit of 1 hour of apply, that we think somehow that we're going to ease that frustration. All it does is give us a false sense that our frustration is going to be there and that no matter how many jobs we apply for, we're going to be ghosted by employers. The third thing recruiters tell us today is that even though there are a lot of job openings, employers are still reluctant to take risks. That is, they are risk averse. It costs a lot to hire somebody, invest in them and onboard them and train them. And they want to stop wasting money doing that. So even though there are a lot of job openings advertised, employers are not going quickly to the higher stage. That is, they're not saying, I need you desperately, I'm going to do this. And if you do get a, we're desperate, we need you kind of job offer, that's also a no experience necessary or little experience necessary, which means you're the easiest to hire and the easiest to let go. So the advice is to apply for 2 to 3 jobs every single day. So they get between 15 and 20 applications a week. And you continue applying even while you're getting interviews. That is, when new opportunities come up, you don't say to yourself, well, I've got 3 interviews next week, so I'll stop applying. No, you keep 2 to 3 a day and you work consistently through it. And you give a little more attention to the applications. And if you feel the urge to rage apply, channel that frustration into the kind of persistent effort that will actually solve your problem. On average, between 100 and 200 applications over the course of a job search is what it takes, according to Forbes and this recruiting consultancy, to actually land the kind of job that you say you will be happy with. And thanks for being part of the Do-Over Show. Please, could you tap the like button? Because it really helps. And while you're down there, how about you subscribe and ring the notification bell so you don't miss the next episode. I'm so glad you found me, and I found you. Thanks.